Latin mega superstar, musician, Bad Bunny, and wrestler to be the lead in Marvel films. I'm trying to take this intro. Let's go.
5,
4,
3,
1.
Paulie back here on the Latino Slant. Look at that. The leading source of Latino entertainment, music, movies, and pop culture. But if only Paulie could get his intro right. Okay, so what I was going to say, what I got for you today is the news that reggaeton singer Bad Bunny, huge megastar, all the accolades, all that, has been cast in the leading role of El Muerto for a Marvel standalone film. And it's set to come out already. They already have a release date, January 2024. Now, there's been a lot of reaction. If you don't know who Bad Bunny is, you're probably thinking, what the F? I can tell you right now, that is not the worst choice. I mean, he is a huge name. He's got a global following. So I just don't know from what I've seen in his brief acting appearances if he can pull off a leading role. The last couple of years, he's been actually doing some professional wrestling stunts. So there's that. But this is a whole different ball game, a completely different ball game. And I'm not wrong. There's a sentiment out there, a big question mark. Can Bad Bunny play a Mexican wrestler named El Muerto? It's legit. Now, there is tons of stories, but I thought the most interesting one and funny one is from the LA Times. When I say buddy, I mean, we've read a couple of his stories here. And again, I might not always agree with this gentleman, but I think he's funny. Fidel Martinez from the LA Times, How Not to Mess Up Bad Bunny's El Muerto. All right. Well, let's make it a little bigger, make me smaller, and so you guys can see what I'm going to read to you. Now, you've probably read that Benito Antonio Martinez Ocasio, alias Bad Bunny, will become the first Latin superstar to lead a live-action Marvel film in Sony Pictures' upcoming El Muerto. If you're unfamiliar with the character, it's likely because El Muerto is a very obscure figure who has a whopping 2 total appearances in the comic books. 2005 Friendly's Neighborhood Spider-Man. Oh, hit that button. Issues 6 and 7. The entirety of his narrative is that he is a luchador, a wrestler, unwillingly following in his father's footsteps, and that he has to wrestle Spider-Man in order not to be killed by a villain named El Dorado. Also, the mask is the source of his superhuman strength. Now, I can direct you to comic experts, Clobber Times, 32 Flavors of Nick Weiser, but we're approaching this completely as a fan of film to point out also to the casting choices, but ultimately what Marvel is trying to do in this next phase and how Bad Bunny being such a big name and such a following, could this make money for Marvel? Could this be a hit for Marvel? And a lot of us are kind of wondering that. We are kind of wondering that. So there is that. Because acting and singing in a music video is one thing, again, leading man, feature film. But let's go on. But while El Muerto is largely unknown, El Conejo Malo is one of the biggest stars in the world. He's been Spotify's most streamed artist for 2 years in a row. He's bankable. The man convinced people to buy Crocs. Nice, nice. Shirley San Benito can can sell a character with more stereotypes than backstory. How do I feel about the whole thing? In deep the rock voice. It doesn't matter what I think because Hollywood is going to continue to be Hollywood. And if they want to pander to a group of people they've long ignored but taken lots of monies from, then that's exactly what Hollywood is going to do. I sorry, I know that was very disappointing. I couldn't do my rock. Let me see. It doesn't matter what I think because Hollywood is going to continue to be Hollywood. And if they want to pander, yeah, in a deep the rock voice, then you know it's exactly what Hollywood is gonna do. Yeah, I can't. I can't. I tried. Oh, I did try. I did try. So I want to know right now. I want to know right now. What you comment? What are your initial thoughts here, guys? What are your initial thoughts on this project, on this personality doing this project? And that'll be great. That'll be great. You know, there's been a lot of misses more than hits with Marvel TV shows and with Marvel films. Very little I have enjoyed personally, a lot that I wasn't able to finish or get through. So, what are your thoughts on this? Okay, let's get back to the story, shall we? But if they're going to pander, then they should at least do it right. With that in mind, here's a list of suggestions for Sony Pictures to make sure that El Muerto doesn't suck as much as Morbius did. Hey, that's not called for. We here at the Slant did like Morbius. We did enjoy it. But in seeing Mr. Martinez's films, what he likes with El Podcast and how they reviewed, at least they like Forever Purge, but they dogged the F out of the tax collector. I'm like, you guys don't really have really great movie taste. All in good fun. All in good fun. I have no idea how far along the studio is in the filmmaking process, but if they can delay the release of the first Sonic movie to make a hedgehog look less creepy, or reshoot a movie with a new actor to avoid the embarrassment of having Kevin Spacey in it, surely they can figure out a way to implement the following recommendations. I love lists, and Fidel comes up with five things on how not to f up El Muerto and make it good for El Bunny. El Bunny, Bad Muerto. To me, let's read them, shall we? Don't you love lists? This is fun. We're having fun. Don't forget to comment. Number one, make sure Bad Bunny doesn't take his mask. I know it sounds counterintuitive not to show the audience the face of the person they paid money to go see, but trust me on this one. Dude. That's great. Lucha Libre is all about the sacredness of the mask and the identity it protects. Correct. Besides, have you ever seen the levels of drippage displayed by El Santo and Blue Demon whenever they would wear regular clothes? Yeah. You know, don't, no face, no regular clothes, just have him as El Santo, el Muerto todo el tiempo durante la película. Absolutely. That's number one. Number two, speaking of El Santo and Blue Demon, have El Muerto fight some aliens or mummies. That'd be cool. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Have him fight some aliens or mummies. We need a Mexican wrestler Marvel movie where he's beating the shit out of aliens. He's like, ripping off their antennas, mummies. He's just like punching right through their bandages y todo, man. Hell, los momias. Yes. Number three, for the love of Aluche, don't use sepia filters for scenes set in Mexico. That's Hollywood 101. That's like Hollywood 101. If Soderbergh or Tony Scott couldn't pull it off, there's absolutely no chance whatsoever you get to direct this thing. No chance whatsoever you get to direct this thing, Will. Better yet, don't set in Mexico at all. Use the American Southwest instead. Okay, well, El Muerto is what? Isn't he set in Mexico City? I totally agree. I cannot stand the sepia colors when they go to Mexico. It's like, it doesn't look like that. And so I'm with you. But the American Southwest, they would probably just do the same thing. They probably just make it all sepia. Or if it's like in Muerto in New Mexico, they'll give it some color. Some color. American Southwest, yeah, or El Paso. I know what you're getting at. Number 4, make sure you include a few scenes of El Muerto cutting his teeth and his body by doing some backyard wrestling. I want to see a Soderbergh-like handicam sequence of Bad Bunny being suplexed through a table. I love this list. We got to see Bad Bunny getting jacked the F up. We ain't gonna give this ain't no Mary Sue time, man. You can't just be giving El Muerto magical powers, y todo, Ray Skywalker, I can do anything. No, we got to see him get Kimbo Slice, Street Jesus, Jorge Masvidal in the backyard getting jacked up. You know what would be great is, speaking of backyard wrestling, it should be at a backyard quinceañera or some birthday party where he's kind of coming up and he thinks he's all that, but he's got a tío or a primo that he challenges, and the primo just tears him apart in front of the whole family, like total embarrassment, and throws him into the picnic tables. I think that'd be good. Yeah, give him some embarrassment for being like so cocky. It's like, great list, man. Great list. Okay, there are 2 number 5s here. All right, so technically, I guess there's 6 here. Number 5, El Muerto is originally from Magdalena de Quino, Sonora, which means you have to have some bando or narco corridos in the soundtrack. It's not Bad Bunny's repertoire. Perhaps Bad Bunny can do a song featuring El Comedor. You at least have to include a Chalino song. Chalino is a very famous narco corrido singer. That's not a bad idea. I mean, it's got to be legit. It's got to be, yes. If it's going to be bad, it can't be just Bad Bunny music from Reggaetonville. It's just not going to work. Maybe one. I agree. I'm totally in agreement with this list. All right, 5 cameos, lots of them. I'm not talking about other superheroes. Either. Although I should note that a plainclothes Wolverine did show up in El Muerto's first appearance. I want to see Cassandro el Exótico. Ooh. It's a great looking wrestler. I want to see Tinieblas, Máscara Sagrada, Thunder Rosa, and Rey Mysterio. Heck, if there's not a scene in which El Tropi, Casas, y Tigrantes are referees, then I'm going to consider this movie a dud. So Fidel went straight up Mexican wrestler lore connected to this movie. Also to some, like border El Paso wrestling personalities. Absolutely, man. Make this authentic. I love this. Sorry, I keep bumping into my own. This is a good list. This is how you can make a great film. But Hollywood, do they ever listen? Do they ever care? Now, there's another film being done. It's called The Blue Beetle. And I'm kind of excited about it because Jaime Reyes is, and his family, it's set in El Paso. The storyline has been set in El Paso, right? Now, the only reason why I'm a little concerned is I heard that the filming locations are in Atlanta and, wait for it, Puerto Rico. I want to see some major second location shooting. El Paso is a very distinctive, funky terrain-looking city that cannot be duplicated. Yeah, so I better see that. Okay, well, that's the list. What do you think? What do you think of Fidel's list? It's not bad. It's got some humor. It's got some smarts. Fidel's a smart dude. You know, he's a smart dude. We got to give him props on. We have to give him props on this. What do you think? El Muerto coming out January 2024 with starring Bad Bunny, not even with Bad Bunny, not even co-starring. He went from a small role that I saw him in Narcos to a role that hasn't come out yet in Bullet Train, where he's beating up or trying to beat up Brad Pitt, to leading man. That's Hollywood, folks. That's Hollywood. All right, everyone, let me know what you think. Hollywood's so funny, man. Wherever you're at, keep your slam fuerte.
Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Slant.
Yeah, but isn't this the unplugged version? I don't know. I think it's the unplugged version.
All right, Paulie, let's go.